Good morning. We're at the Rockman property today. We're going to be completing a repairability test and then doing a line of sight as well with the recommended shingle that was sent off for testing and came back as the shingle came back as the best recommended shingle. It's a CertainTeed XT25 weathered wood. So we'll go ahead and do our repair test with that recommended shingle. Get that on the roof, and then we'll take some street view photos to show how the shingles line up or match up with the shingles on the roof. I'll give you just a quick overview of these shingles. This recommended shingle here, showing you all the identifiers. And then we have 4 shingles, so we'll do our repair test with one of those recommended shingles, and then we'll put 3 more up on the front slope just temporarily, so we can get a better idea of how they match up along the roof. But we'll get started with the repairability test. We'll be doing the repair test on this damaged shingle here, which I've identified with an X, and then marked up all of the surrounding shingles around that one. I'll give you an overview of all of those surrounding shingles. Then once we're finished, I'll show you the results. For my tools, I'll be using a flat bar, hammer, roof snake, and putty knife. We'll get started with the putty knife. We'll use that to unseal shingle 7 there, the top shingle. Then we'll use the flat bar to unseal the rest of them. See how those 2 different tools affect the shingles differently. And now we'll start removing these nails. This nail's a bit overdriven and a little bit at an angle, so may have to manipulate the shingles a little bit more than we'd like to get that nail out. Alright, we got that damaged shingle out. Set that aside. Now we'll get the recommended shingle in there, get it all lined up nicely. Now we'll start getting some nails in there. We'll be using the roof snake for that. Right, we're all complete with the repairability test. Show you guys the results here. I'll give you another overview of all of those surrounding shingles. And we'll take a closer look at these tabs that are right above the new shingle there. We can see a difference in the condition of those shingles right above the repair compared to these shingles over here, the unaffected shingles, the ones we didn't have to manipulate for the repairability test. We can see these are still sealed down. Looks like this one's unsealed, but these ones are all sealed down and unaffected. We did not have to manipulate those in order to complete that repairability test, and we can see the difference in the condition compared to these shingles here. Looks like we can see stress fractures along these tabs. So I'll just give you a close-up of each of these tabs here. You can see that stress fracture all across where the matting on the shingle broke. I'll give you a side view as well. You can see that pretty easily. Same thing here. We have a stress fracture along this tab. Like I said, those stress fractures are from the matting on the shingle breaking, which damages the integrity of that shingle and also affects its water shedding capabilities. With that broken matting, that's going to not allow that shingle to do what it was designed to do as best as it should, which is shed water. It's going to be a leak hazard due to those stress fractures. You can see that's real bad in the corner there. Along there. I'll just give you another overview. We can just see the difference in these shingles right above here compared to all the rest of them. Just kind of give you a side-by-side comparison here of all of those. I'll check for the mat transfer. Don't believe we had any. But with those stress fractures, I do not believe that repairs are feasible to this roof. We can see the condition that those surrounding shingles were left in due to the repairability test, and the repair test should be the most accurate results in determining whether or not the roof is repairable, as we're doing all the same motions, manipulating the shingles the same way you would for an actual repair. And so we can see the results we're left with. We have an additional 1, 2, 3 damaged shingles just from repairing one, and all of those are going to be potential leak hazards due to those stress fractures. And we can see the wind damage on this roof is pretty widespread. We have wind damage all over to each slope. So if repairs were to be made to this roof, you can see the condition that those repairs would be left in. They would be left with an additionally 3 damaged shingles per each repair, and potential leak hazards all over their roof. And I do not believe that that would be indemnification. Their roof would be in a worse condition than it was prior to the covered loss. So with that being said, I do not believe the roof is repairable. I'll go ahead and chalk up all those damages and get some better pictures of those, and then I'll go ahead and put those other 3 shingles up, and we'll get some photos from the street to see how those line up as well. And thank you for your time.